Welcome to a very special edition of Agenda. This weekend saw the release of a Vishal Bhardwaj film called Talwar, which is based on the Arushi Talwar murder case. Now, as you may recall, in that case, dentist couple Rajesh and Nupur Talwar were found guilty of murdering their teenage daughter Arushi. They were convicted and are now lodged in Dasna jail, even though CBI wanted to file a closure report in the case because they said there just wasn't enough evidence. No one from the CBI has ever spoken about the fact that first CBI team said it wasn't the Talwars but their servants and their associates who killed Arushi, and then there was a second CBI team which probed it, which went back to the Noida police theory that the parents did it because they found Arushi and their help Hemraj in together, and the father got angry, they said, and murdered them both. Today, for the first time, we have the first CBI investigating officer, Arun Kumar, joining us. His role, as you know, those of you who've seen the film, is played by Irfan Khan in the film, and he's never spoken to the media about this case before. He's now in the CRPF and he saw the film and has agreed to go on record to be interviewed about it. Before we go to Mr. Arun Kumar, let's take a look very quickly at what the film is about.
Confess कर लो, सस्ते में छुपोगे।
तुमने इंसाफ की मूर्ति देखा है?
जिस दिन समेले आंखें खोली,
उस मूर्ति के हाथ में एक तलवार भी है।
इंसाफ 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 होगा।
First CBI investigating officer, Mr. Arun Kumar, speaking to NDTV. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. I just wanted to say that you've seen the film, you've seen Irfan Khan playing you. I think a lot of us want to know, sir, how truly did he depict you?
I have seen the movie just yesterday, and I'm not sure that he is playing only my character, but I think a few of the things they have added, it seems that he is playing the role of the first investigating team. And I think as a spectator, I can tell you that it's a very sensibly made movie. The type of story it developed and the type of investigations were made, I think the filmmakers have taken a very balanced view, and they have left it on the viewers to make their own opinion. And as far as Irfan's role is concerned, I think he's an excellent actor and he has done a very good job.
So you'd agree, sir, that it's very close to the truth?
In fact, just prior to this movie, there was a book named Arushi by Agruk Sen, and I read that book also. So, as far as closure to truth is concerned, I mean, I will find that movie making and writing a book are two different media. So, that way, Arushi is much closer to truth. But as a movie, Talwar is concerned, I mean, naturally the filmmaker will take the creative freedom, and so they have taken a creative freedom. But as far as the crux and gist of the whole controversy of the case has been filmed very well.
So I wanted to ask you, just so that the people watching are very clear, why is it, sir, that there have been so many questions, there are so many unanswered questions even now? Why is it that people like you, the other officers who've been in this case, why is it that they've never come out and explained the case or why they were doing what they were doing? If you can give your example of why haven't you given your version of this story before?
Sunitra, in fact, the tragedy in this case started on the first day. Take it this way, that there could be three possible set of murderers. Either they are parents, or they are servants, or they are a third party which is still not known to investigative agency. But none of the murderers would have thought that if they have killed two persons on the same day, same time, a body of one victim will be recovered by the police, and the second, which is just lying on the roof, will not be found out by them when all the traces of the blood is going to the roof were available there. And the then SPCP is on the record given a statement to us that he could see that blood. He was pointed out that the blood is going upstairs, and he instructed the then Sector 20 officer in charge, which has been very comically played by in the movie, and asked him to get it opened, and as he was going for that arrangement of Honorable PM's visit that particular day. So that person, if he would have thought, might not have thought that the body will be found, if he would have broken the lock to find out any clue, the story would have been different. That is the basic reason that once whoever is murderer is suddenly find that the police has recovered only one body, and accordingly somebody thinks that the servant is missing, so he may be the murderer. And if the murderer is around and he is moving with the police, he can plant his own stories. And if the third party is the murderer again, they would not have thought that the second body will not be found, and from the initial day the whole thing started going topsy-turvy. Then the things came that professionally speaking, a lot of forensic evidences were lying at the spot, and everybody knows that the movie has also said that everything was crumpled. I mean that Ballantine whiskey bottle that is lying on the table was seized after 3-4 days, when the media pointed it out that why that has not been seized, and the fingerprints story all have been depicted that not properly taken and washed away by the rains after following days. So that is the second thing, that many of the forensic evidence we could not recover. And again the third part is that forensically I think we are lacking as a country, as a society, that confidence we should have on the forensic team, and the forensics should have the confidence that what they are telling is true. At times they keep on changing, and so the whole investigation started hinging upon the 161 statement of CRPC, which can be changed this way or that way. So that is the problem, and I think that is a lost opportunity.
Can you clarify that? What is the 161 for our lay persons, for our viewers? You said that the whole case started depending on the statement of one person. Who is that person? Can you just clarify that part?
Not one, no. I was telling that the case as it was could have been well lie upon the forensic evidences. That was the circumstances of the case. But since the forensic evidences could not be picked up properly or developed properly, any investigator, be it the first team, be it the second team, or the CBI first and second team, they had largely had to depend more on the statement of witnesses, not one, many. And those witnesses have kept on changing their evidences, and that created further problems.
Okay. I think you've given us a lot of information in that. I just want to go step by step, sir, because it's important. You're speaking for the first time. You've talked about, I know that when you took over, the main thing, and that we all saw, that the main problem was that the evidence was all messed up. It was contaminated because the Noida police allowed. And I know when you took over the investigation in 2008, your first concern was how you had lost out on a lot of the evidence. For instance, you said the whiskey bottle that is there and the bloody fingerprint, why wasn't it sent for forensic examination? But sir, if we start also with your line of investigation, I think when we first heard the public statement that you made in July 2008 was when you said that Rajesh Talwar's narco test, in which you didn't find any deception, and you were the first person at that time to introduce the new suspects, which were the people who used to work there, which were Rajkumar and Krishna, something that the film also shows. Now, do you think perhaps, because as you said, I've read the book, we've seen the film, do you think, sir, perhaps as an investigator, the mistake was to go on air with that on the basis of a narco test which is not admissible in court, instead of first getting all the evidence and connecting them scientifically to the case and the murder?
See, when we took over the case, the father, I mean Mr. Rajesh Talwar, was already arrested by the local police. So the first and foremost task before our team was to find out the involvement of the parent, and we focused on that. and we went through the case diary of the local police, Noida police. There was not even a single admissible evidence in that against the father. Unfortunately, even the officer investigator had not talked to him, not taken his statement. Only he wrote the confessional statement, which was not actually taken from me. He never confessed about the crime, but it was written in the case diary. So our main task was to find out whether Rajesh Talwar is involved or not. So we tried to focus and try to get all the evidences. The main thing that the people were talking at that particular time was how come that in a flat like Jalvayu, Bihar, 4 people are there and 2 of them kept sleeping in the room and the murder took place and they didn't come to know about that. So first and foremost what we did, that we went to that particular room at the probable time of the murder and did all the scientific tests by keeping all the AC on and everything, and we found that the sound from outside is not coming, and that was a very important evidence which was later on totally ignored by the other people, and they should have proved that whether the sound level of that particular room, if the AC is on, it was of that particular level that the parents are really sleeping, they could hear to that. So that was a scientific evidence to find out.
You're saying some of the things which were shown in the film as well. You obviously still believe that the Talwars are innocent, and you believe there is evidence to show that, and so do you believe there's been a miscarriage of justice?
This is my personal opinion. I have always stood by my opinion, even in the further meetings, that the parents are not guilty, and the second teams, I mean, in my opinion, they should have investigated both the lines. They should have tried to find out whether against the parents also and against the servants also, and then could have taken up a firm view with the evidence. And this is also true that when the case was being finalized, I was actually called, and it was discussed threadbare, and it was found that no evidence is made against the parents, so a closure report is to be filed. But who will see that the closure report looks like a closure report, not a charge sheet against the parents? And that actually happened, and the court had no other option but to start the conviction of the trial of the parents, which naturally turned into a conviction.
So, sir, it's very significant. You're saying that you still believe, it's your personal opinion, but it's an opinion which was discussed even after the second CBI team said the parents were guilty. Both the teams, which was shown in the film as well, you were there in the meeting, you still maintain that, and you're saying that even the CBI said there is no evidence against the parents, even the second team and the team led by it. So, sir, the fact that there has been conviction now, the fact that you're saying that even then the second CBI team said there is no evidence, which is why they wanted to close the case, and yet we see during the trial, that is much after the closure of the case was recommended, during the trial, the investigating officers like Mr. AGL Kaul go ahead and keep banging on the fact, keep reiterating the fact that they believe that the parents did it. So, what do you make of Mr. AGL Kaul's role? Do you think that he went beyond his brief?
Unfortunately, Mr. Kaul is not in this world now, so I will not like to personally say anything. But normally speaking, the procedural wise, once the highest authority in the CBI decides that the closure report is to be filed, it's the duty of the investigating officer to really file the closure report in letter and spirit. But that was absolutely not done, and certainly it's challenging the authority of the director CBI and going beyond the brief.
Okay, so when you talk about director CBI, so I have to ask you, because the film also showed it. We have 2 directors over here. One was your director, Mr. Vijay Shankar. The second was the other director who took over, Mr. Ashwini Kumar. Is there some kind of, please help us understand this, because this seems a mystery even in the film. Was there some kind of rivalry between the 2 directors about, which is why you've also said, it's been said in the book as well, that Mr. Ashwini Kumar refused to allow you to file the charge sheet? What was the reason? Or was it politics? Was it rivalry? What is it between the 2 directors, sir?
Sunitra, the institution of director CBI is very sacrosanct, and a lot of things happen, and I cannot discuss the director CBI's on the camera, and I will not comment on this question.
But you didn't get the backing of Mr. Ashwini Kumar sir, the second director, even though you believe that you had the evidence.
Sorry, no comments from my side.
Okay, so it's interesting because that's what the film as well showed. Let's just come back to one crucial piece of evidence, sir, which was showed in the film as well, which the Talwars even today they're going to use in the appeal, which is the pillow case. In the film it shows you collecting that evidence from one of the servants' rooms, which would have connected, just to tell our viewers, it would have connected Hemraj's blood and DNA to Krishna, who was the servant at that time and who you believed played a role in the murder. He was behind the murder. Now, we were told by CBI later on that there was a typo error, that the pillow was actually found from Hemraj's room. Thereby, it didn't prove anything. Now, what is the truth, sir? What do you believe happened to the pillow? What really happened to the pillow, which the Talwars believe is the key to their innocence?
See, there have been many instances where the things could have been nailed in this case. Literally, I mean, at the end, didn't give that. I was talking about the forensic evidence, didn't give that clear verdict. So first, that this was the tragedy related to this blood stain of the pillow, where it came that it was the pillow cover which was found in the room of Krishna carries the blood of Hemraj, which was later on told by the lab about the typographic error, and that's why my contention is that why our forensic labs are not actually to that extent to say that this is true, this is fact. They also sometimes starts getting carried away by what is being told in media and what is the general perception of the crime, rather than going by that particular evidence and what.
The book says, and you quoted the book and you said the book was also really close to the truth. The book says that the second team perhaps put pressure on the laboratory to say that there had been a typo in exchanging the pillow labels. Do you also believe that?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that our forensic teams can be pressurized to give something, but they are professionally, they are not very sure at times, that I can comment.
Okay, and sir,
but
the witnesses, you talked about the changing statements of the witnesses, sir. Is this something which only happened in this case, sir, because the witnesses said something to you? They said, they seem to have said something completely different to the second team, which is why different conclusions. Is this something that only happened in the Talwar case, and why do you think that happened, or is this something that happens a lot? And you know, the one thing for a lay person to be watching this entire story is that justice can be manipulated. Do you feel that's true, sir?
See, the issue of clinging of evidence is concerned. I mean, that has been very clearly shown in the movie also, and it's clarified time and again, that even if you clean that floor, there are equipments which can detect blood on any of the surfaces. And as it has been shown, that how can a person or anyone swipe the floor and clean the blood of one victim and not the second victim. And that is a very important theory in this particular case, and the difference of opinion about the two teams, that whether Hemraj was killed in that room or he went alive on the roof and was killed there. So, I mean, these are the evidences that differs, and these are the questions yet to be answered, I think. And still, I think that the last word has not been told in this particular case, and certainly the constitutional courts will have their say in this case. I certainly hope that the constitutional courts will take their own independent view.
You wish you testified in this case, sir?
No question of, I mean, unless a little court calls me, there is no question of testifying. At that stage over. Some people are of the opinion that there will be retrial and all that, but this is a very rare case.
Yes, sir.
I think that the trial stage is over, it's only on appeal.
Yes, sir. I understand. I think you've pointed out some major lapses and given us completely different look on the case. What is significant though, sir, is perhaps your speaking today gives us for the first time the other side of it. What was it like investigating this case? The first CBI investigator in the Arushi case, Mr. Arun Kumar, speaking to us for the very first time. CBI, of course, right now has a completely different take, but that, of course, has been also gone to court, and the court has got a conviction on the basis of it. Thanks very much, sir, for speaking to us.